Right, hi everyone. This is a lesson on mechanism, which is designed for lower secondary students. So, what is mechanism? Mechanism is part of the system which change one movement at the input to another and the output through mechanical means. So, looking at the block diagram, there's some input that you put in as a movement that you put in as an input to achieve some output movement. And if the process is done by mechanical means, it is considered a mechanism. To further explain what is a mechanism, let us look at some example. If you look at this picture down here, which is a person trying to lift a heavy rock, right? So this person put in some form of a movement. So he put in some form of movement, and this is where the input movement is. And then by means of the lever, which is in this case will be considered our mechanical means, the output, which is a rock, will start to move. Okay, so in this example, a mechanism system is being applied. Right? Look at another example where there is a motor down here, which is connected to a small pulley right down here. Right, meaning that this will be the input movement, and at the output movement, a rope winch is hooked up to another side through a system called the pulley system. Right. So in this case, input is at the motor, output is the rope winch, and the mechanical means is the pulley, and this is called also known as a mechanical system. Right. We keep talking about movement, motion. Actually, there are only 4 basic type of motion when it comes to design technology under the mechanism. Right? The first motion is what we call the linear motion, meaning that it is one direction. Right? It is one direction, and it doesn't come back. It's either from left to right or from right to left. Okay, so that is called a linear motion. The second motion is called rotary motion. You can either go clockwise or anti-clockwise. Right, so that is called rotary motion. The third type of motion is what we call the oscillating motion, which it has to start from one point, swing around to the other side, and it must come back to the same point where it starts. Then it is considered an oscillating motion. Last but not least, there is what we call the reciprocating motion, where not only by one action it goes up and it will come down in one action, and then it is considered a reciprocating motion. When people ask what are the functions of mechanism, well, there is 3 general reasons why we use mechanism. The first is be able to convert motion. Second, to control motion. Third is to transmit motion. The function of mechanisms of converting motion. What do I mean? Look at the input down here at this example. Whatever that is being input is rotation of motion, right? Now the output ends up to be, looking at the leg of this person down here, right, is moving up and down in one rotation. So there is a change of types of motion from rotating to reciprocating. These are also a similar example of doing the same thing converting a rotating motion, right, to a reciprocating motion. Next, we look into the another functions of mechanism, which is the control of motion. And in this case down here, right, this example down here actually talk pretty much about the speed that has been changed. Imagine if this is the input, right, and this is the output. And if the size of this is pretty much smaller than the one at the output, what you will see is the speed at the output will be pretty much reduced. So in other words, the function of the mechanism can be used to change the speed of the system. Next, we look into the third function of the mechanism, which is ability for it to transmit motion, meaning that you put your input down here, the movement end up at the other side. There is a transmission of motion. Similarly, if you look at this person pedaling down here, the input movement is at the pedal, but the movement has end up to be at the wheel, which in turns move the whole bicycle. So there is a transmission of motion from the pedal to the rail wheel. Now we come to the last part of this PowerPoint slide, which talk about different types of mechanism or mechanical means. Okay, so there are more different type of mechanism that's outside what we're going to show down here. As a good start for lower sec, we want you to understand the couple of mechanisms that we present here. Now, this is what we call a lever mechanism, right? It can use to change the amount of force from the input to the output. So it is pretty much commonly used, right? This system down here is called the pulley system, which is referring to a pulley system will have one wheel and two wheel, one input, one output, followed by a belt. Okay, this is one convention of a pulley system. Next, this is another mechanism which is called the spring. And next, the linkages. What are the linkages? Down here. These are the linkages. Alright, it causes the movement in a way that that can be predetermined. Alright, and this is the cam and follower mechanism, where this is called the cam. The one that follows the profile of the cam is called a follower. Last but not least, this is called a gear mechanism. Right? Input can be here, input can be here, but because the teeth are meshing each other, one turn the other will follow.